All right, as you can see, I already opened the actual box and just pulled this stuff out. You can also tell by the title that this is a rebuy. Um, one of these is a rebuy, one of them is not, but they both came from the same guy who I bought it from before. And as most of you know, I have a weakness for two knives: the Red Horse Knife Works Hellraiser and the Frank Fisher Battles. Yeah, it's a problem, and I don't have an answer for it. So this is two Red Horse Knife Works, two Hellraisers, and I don't know which box is which, but we'll just pull each out and we'll talk about them. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with me? So this is just a standard. This one is very similar, if not pretty well. No, this is the original one that I bought when Jim Skelton announced that they were coming out. The standard weave pattern. This is a marbled carbon fiber, and this one's a user. This one's been sharpened. The previous owner used it, resharpened it, and it runs awesome. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one specifically because I have marble carbon already. Like, I don't need every single variety. Or do I? So I don't know about this one. This one I might get sold. This might be given away. Maybe. I don't know. This is the one that I rebought. This is the one that I really wanted back. So originally, my friend Justin bought this from Ed at Blade Show 2021, I believe. Yeah, 2021. And he bought it from the table, and he got a discount because he told him that he knew me. I'm not going to say that you'll always get a discount from Ed just because you know me, but it worked out for Justin, and he got a discount and a free hat. So that was kind of a cool story. And then he reached out to me a year or so ago. They were, him and his wife were pregnant. And he asked if I was interested in it. I said yes. He said, okay, but once I get through what I'm going through and all of that stuff, I want to buy it back. I'm like, okay. It was one of those things where, hey, if you ever sell it, let me know. Okay, so I did. I sold it back to him. And it always kind of bothered me. But it was his first. He was allowed to ask for it back. It wasn't a problem. But it was something that I always kind of wanted back. And, yes, I've gone to the custom level and gone crazy with the Hellraisers. So when him and I were talking recently, he said that he still had it. He was thinking about letting it go again and, all of that because he never carried it because he didn't want to mess it up, which I totally understand. But I've gotten hardcore into the full-on custom knives. So carrying a production knife, even though it is fancier, doesn't really bother me. And so I asked him how much, and he said he would do it for X, and he would throw this guy in with it, make a package deal. Bada bing, bada boom. Here we are today. Is there a knife that you have sold that has gotten away from you, that you've regretted selling, that you have bought back? I've bought, I don't know that I've bought anything else back, the exact knife. Like I may have sold a model and then bought a different model of that same one back, a different variant or something like that, perhaps. But I don't know that I've ever bought the same exact, like specific knife back before. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not even sure, talking to everybody now, how I feel. Am I really just kind of odd, an idiot? Like, do I really need another Hellraiser? I think what this does is it makes numbers 9 and 10 Hellraisers for me, actually. I think. I'd have to count. And then there is one more that a friend of mine has that I may buy. And then, of course, I've talked about before, Ed and I are working on a final custom. So that hopefully will be sometime in 2024, because I have some other large personal purchases happening here shortly. And so I got to slow down on my knife purchases. But this one is a very cool one that I'm just really honored to have back in my collection, because there were not too many of these ones made. And there weren't too many bought from Ed at the show by a person that I'm a friend with, So there's a story that goes along with this one. So this one wouldn't necessarily just get sold on the open market. Neither would this one, even though this is just a standard plain Jane that you can buy online, no problem. The story behind this one, literally pausing Jim Skelton's video to buy it and then going back and finishing Jim's video. This particular one, probably never going to leave. And I say that, because you never know. Life could change. I could have a bad day, and if you go to lose everything, I'm going to sell some knives before I lose everything in my life. These are just possessions. There are ones that I would sell later than others, if that makes sense, like this production one and this production one. These would be sold much quicker than a custom. You know what I mean? Why do we have so many? Why do we collect? Like, seriously, if we pull them out, and I won't pull them all out just to, whatnot, but yeah, it's a thing. Why do we have to have every variation, every model? I even got the automatic. Yeah, so Red Horse is the knife that I have a weakness for. People are always sending me links and being like, hey, this one's for sale, or this custom one's for sale. And for the most part, I end up buying them. Not all of them. There's one on Arizona Customs right now that I didn't buy. So, yeah. Just a thought. I would love to hear your take on rebuys. I have friends that buy watches and they sell them, and their rule is they never rebuy. They never rebuy that same model. They sold it for a reason, which is true. This one I sold because he wanted it back. And I told him I would sell it back to him if he ever wanted it back. Not because I wanted to sell it necessarily. Not that I was upset with him for asking for it back. But I bought it to help him out through some times. And I knew that when he was through whatever he was going through, that he may want it back. So it was totally fine. But I'm glad to have it in my collection now. And this will get carried because I carry my knives mostly. And this one's beautiful. And it takes great pictures. And the action on this thing is insane. It's just perfect. So let me know your thoughts down below. I appreciate it. If you've made it this far, comment down below. Hellraiser. Thanks, guys. Check out my Hellraiser or my Red Horse Knife Works playlist up here in the corner.